Well, people say the best way to predict the future is to create it. That's how people say that, and this is how my friend says it. One of my friends, actually, he often says that. कार्यक्रमको नाम हो आइडिया टक. नमस्ते, म विवेक सिंह ठकुरी. कार्यक्रम आइडिया टक एउटा त्यस्तो कार्यक्रम जसले सोचलाई उद्योगसम्म पुर्याउन थप ऊर्जा प्रदान गर्छ. आजको हाम्रो कार्यक्रममा पनि त्यस्तै एउटा पर्सनालिटीलाई हामी फिचर गर्दैछौं जसले प्रेडिक्ट गर्नुभयो that this will work in Nepali market. Someone who had this idea that it will work and today it's working amazingly. एउटा ब्याङ्करको नाताले नेपाली बजारमा पनि घर, गाडी, मोटरसाइकलको लोन दिएमा यसको मार्केट बढ्छ भन्ने उहाँले इन्भिजन गर्नुभयो. धेरैले त्यो सुरुवाती फेजमा उहाँलाई यो चल्दैन, यो चीज हुनै सक्दैन, मान्छेले ऋण लिएर मोटरसाइकल या मोटर कार अथवा घर किन्ने नेपालको कल्चर छैन भन्ने धेरैले क्वेशन गरे. तर उहाँलाई थाहा थियो यो वर्क गर्न सक्छ. र आज हामी सबैजना लोनको गाडी, लोनको मोटरसाइकल, लोनको घरमा बस्ने हिँड्ने गर्छौं. हजुर, म एउटा त्यस्तो व्यक्तित्वको कुरा गरिरहेको छु जसले आफूलाई ब्याङ्किङ सेक्टरमा स्थापित गरिसक्नु भयो. सेलिब्रिटी ब्याङ्कर भन्दा पनि फरक नपर्ला. He's got a charismatic personality. Of course, I'm talking about Mr. Anil Shah. Let's welcome him in the show. Welcome to the show, Anil sir.
Thank you very much.
Well, Anil sir, let me take you back to your college days. How were you as a student, Anil Shah?
First of all, academically, I was a very average student. For some reason, people believe I must have been exceptional. I was not. I was not an exceptional student. But what I did thrive on was I wanted to learn. I wanted to learn what was in the books, what the professors were saying, what the environment was trying to teach me, what I could learn from my colleagues, and I wanted to learn. And I think that made all the difference, whether it was in school or in college, whether it's in America or in India or anywhere else that I was. I was a person who wanted to enjoy college, wanted to learn, knew why I was there, wasn't an exceptional student, and I knew that as well, but I wanted to make sure that I got as much out of college as anybody else, if not more.
Well, then I was going through the research that my team has given to me, and it says that your motto, loves change, thrives in change, and people fear change. So I was just wondering, as an entrepreneur, because this show is all about entrepreneurship, what would be your take on those people who fear change and yet to be and want to be an entrepreneur?
I think it's like wanting to be a swimmer but being afraid of water. If you want to be an entrepreneur, the first thing you need to do is embrace change, make change part of your DNA. For me, because of the way my parents were both working and we went to different schools, I went to 9 different schools. So every 2.5 to 3 years, my whole world would change. They would take me from one country to another school, to another environment. Initially, I was very apprehensive to change, as everybody else is. But then me and my brother, we sort of got used to it, and we thought, okay, this is part of life. And then we became such that we wanted to look forward to change. After 2.5 years, we started to get bored of the same place. If you want to be an entrepreneur, change is the only constant that you're going to have in your life.
Right.
Get to know that. Because if you think, okay, I'm an entrepreneur, I will do this business, and then I will continue doing whatever I'm doing, you may do very well for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, then you'll go out of business.
Right.
One of the biggest companies in the world right now is Xiao, Apple. You remember the first Apple, the box that Apple brought out? If they thought, wow, we've done it. We've brought a computer out here that everybody is using now, and that's what we're going to stick with. That's the end of innovation for us. That's the end of change for us. There would be no Xiao. We'd be into orange and cucumber by now, most probably. But Apple kept innovating. Apple kept looking forward to change. Apple kept changing and evolving itself. That's what entrepreneurship is. Whether you open a Momo shop or you open a big company or a manufacturing unit or a service unit, you must always look to innovate. And the seed of innovation is change. If you're apprehensive about change, you will never look forward to innovation. You will be scared of innovation. And you will never go towards anything you're scared of. And as an entrepreneur, if you do not innovate, if you do not evolve, if you do not change, you may be successful right now, but you will not be in existence in a few years' time.
True. I mean, like, change is also a certain level of risk as well.
Yes.
When change happens, there is a risk associated with it. And, you've been working with entrepreneurs as a banker as well. So when it comes to entrepreneurship in Nepal, the risk associated with entrepreneurship in Nepal, people say it's huge, it's immense. And people kind of fear to get into entrepreneurship. as a banker, how do you take that statement that, oh no, I mean, like, Nepal is not a good place to become an entrepreneur?
Again, I'd like to simplify that with an example. It's like water and swimming, as I said.
Right.
If you don't know how to swim, but you're really anxious about it and jump into the rapti, you will drown. There's 90% chance or above that you will drown. But if you have practiced swimming, if you know how to deal with currents, if you know how to tackle river water, and then you jump into the water, you'll enjoy it. You'll be a hero. Everybody will say, wow, look at that person swim. Taking risk is the same. Oh, म त रिस्क लिन चाहन्छु है, म एन्टरप्रेन्योर हो, रिस्क लिने भनेर पौडी नै खेल्न नसके जसरी खोलामा हाम फालिन्छ भनेदेखि your business will fail, you will collapse, you will lose a lot of money, time, effort.
Right.
Taking risk is an art and a science. You must have the attitude inside that enables you to take risks, the confidence. Right. But then you must also have the aptitude, the learning, the skills, that this risk, if I take this risk, these are the things that I will have to face. This is what I need to do. This is what I need to learn before I take this risk. Once you do that, and then you come to a bank or to any investor, and you say, I want to do this, and then the person says, but what about this risk? This is how I'm going to mitigate that, and this is how I'm going to manage that risk. Then suddenly the banker or the investor gets more and more comfort. Homework ta gareko raheछ है, के गर्ने उसलाई त विचार मात्र हैन, कसरी गर्ने भनेर उसलाई थाहा पनि रहेछ है. Once that happens and that confidence level and that comfort level starts to increase, then whether it be a banker, an investor, an angel fund, whatever it is, then the question of, I think if I put my money here, I'm going to get good return. It's like the youngest swimmer in the Olympics that we just finished was a Nepali 13-year-old girl. She practices every day, apparently from 5 in the morning till school and after school, every day for years and years. And that's why she was the youngest Olympian, and she made us all proud by winning that heat in Rio. But if we just send someone and said, "Look, gaer pauri khelde ho hai Rio ma," what will happen? We can all imagine. Risk is exactly like that. Please don't be afraid of risk, but please don't close your eyes and jump into risk as well. Take calculated risks with open eyes. Know what risk you're taking, know how you're going to mitigate that risk, and how you're going to come out on the other side further ahead from than where you started.
What about the political system? Because time and again, people have kind of said, okay, Anil Shah is getting into politics very soon. We've heard that rumors, grapevines, and we would love to see you in politics, actually, because we would need good people in politics. That's what we would ideally like to believe. What is your take on the political system of Nepal?
I think the political system of any country is like our health. We are healthy, that's why we're here doing this interview today. Right. Even though I had committed my time, if I was not well this morning, I'd be running to the doctor, to the hospital, compounder, pharmacist, someone or the other, to get healthy again. Until one gets healthy, one can do nothing else. Even your family means nothing if you are unhealthy. Unless the country has political stability, the rest of it is tapasil. के पनि गर्न सकिदैन हामीले. बिरामी मान्छेले के गर्न सक्छ र औषधि खाएर कसरी हैन स्वस्थ हुँ भनेर. But just being healthy doesn't mean that you're prosperous. I know so many healthy people who are doing nothing with their lives. Being healthy is the starting point, not the ending point. Having political stability, we feel, and we have been made to feel, is the ending point. सत्य युग सुरु हुन्छ. हाम्रो राजनीतिको सबै संरचनाहरू ठीक भएपछि हैन. हाम्रो राजनीतिको स्थिरता संरचनाहरू ठीक भइसकेपछि चाहिँ त्यो एउटा सुरुवातको बिन्दु हो, अन्तिमको बिन्दु हैन. We have come to a point in our country where I find so many youth disenchanted with politics, and they keep telling me, Anil, you need to go into politics, people like you have to do something and all. And I keep telling them with folded hands, we each need to do what we're good at doing. If, after watching this interview, people think, wow, this guy is great, but if, God forbid, you get sick, you will never think, Anil Shahलाई phone गरेर सोधौँ के औषधि खाने भनेर. एउटा नेपाली बिरामी हुँदाखेरि त हामी डाक्टर कहाँ जान्छौँ, अनिल शाह कहाँ जाँदैनौँ भने सबै नेपालीको भविष्य एउटा बैंकरको हात या एउटा राम्रो एनजीओ चलाइरहेको हात या एउटा मिडिया पर्सनको हातमा नराखौँ भन्छु म चाहिँ. हाम्रो राजनीतिमा पनि धेरै राम्रो मान्छेहरू छन्, उहाँहरूले मौका नपाएको होला, उहाँहरूको हैन जुन संरचना छ उहाँहरूको दलहरूले गरेर उहाँहरू दबेर बसिराख्नु भएको होला. म उहाँहरूलाई भन्छु, आट्नुहोस् तपाईँ पनि, हामी तपाईको पछाडि आउने, तपाईले सपोर्ट गर्न तयार छौं. कोहीले पनि कुनै पनि राजनीतिक दलको मान्छेलाई भन्दैन होला कि why don't you start a bank, why don't you run a bank, these bankers have taken us for a ride, the banks are all collapsing. But why are bankers told, why don't you run the country? I would like to ask my political friends, those in politics, those in leadership positions in politics, it's time for you to pull up your socks and do something. Don't be afraid. You look at my example. I was in Greenlace Bank, Standard Chartered Bank for 13 years. I could have stayed on there if I didn't want to take any risk. And Standard Chartered is what was made me. I am who I am because of Standard Chartered. Standard Chartered tells me to go abroad, so I go abroad. I have left Nepal and been gone for the last 12 years. But I didn't. I took a risk. Went to Nabil Bank. Amazing team of people, all Nepalis. We made Nabil Bank #1. Wow, what a great thing. I could have stayed on in Nabil Bank till now even. But I thought, no, let's try and do something different. And I joined a bank which didn't even have an operating license. And now we are in Mega Bank and everyone is saying, oh, hello to Hydro, kehi gariraheko cha, haina agadi badhiraheko cha, share price is good, people have a good brand image of this. I'd like to tell my political friends also, don't just sit under the sun or under the shade of a tree or go after a cow or run with a sickle and a hammer. Do something yourself. Take the risk. The time has come when either you change the political party or the political ideology or the political framework that you're in, or you move out from there and start something completely different. If you take the risk, the youth of Nepal is behind you. Anil Shah is behind you. Most of the people are behind you. If all of you get together, that is where the future of Nepal is. I don't think it is with doctors and bankers and philosophers coming into politics. It will take us 8 to 10 years to learn what they've learned till now. It's like them coming and trying to run a bank. We need to see who are the good people in politics right now. Give them the courage to step up and take charge. And once that happens, I think the future of Nepal will be very bright.
Do you think that's ever going to happen? Well, that would be a lot of questions that people would be.
I definitely think so. I think, if you look at our history itself, we had the Rana prime ministers, which at that point of time, they had ultimate power. They could do whatever, nobody could say anything or do anything against them. They are gone. After that, we had Panchayat, where the royal family had a great deal of power. But those in politics had a great deal of power. There was no rights. People were saying this, that, whatever it is and all. Even that is gone now. In comparison to that sort of change that the Nepali people have brought in their political paradigm, what power does the political parties now have? Do you think the political parties now have as much power as the Ranas did or as the Panchayat did? No, they don't. They are there because the people are giving them a chance. If they do not take this chance, the same people who removed the Rana Sasan, who removed the Panchayat Kal, who moved us into Federal Republic will say, enough, we need change. If they could change all that, putting their life and limb at peril, they can definitely change this. And I think that we Nepalese people are very forgiving, very, what shall we say, relaxed, and we give time, and we give, try it, and you may be able to do it. And that's what the Nepalese people are doing. I think if you look at the results of the first Constituent Assembly election and the second, and the change in the members of the Constituent Assembly, you will see that the Nepalese people know what they're doing. I have full faith in the Nepalese people, whether it be the rural, the rich, the poor, any ethnicity, they know what they're doing because they know. अब कसैको कोखबाट जन्मेर मेरो लिडर हुँदैन, मेरो भोटबाट मेरो लिडर हुन्छ, and they are slowly realizing the power of that vote, and that's what I love, and that's what democracy is all about.
Great. So as a banker, time and again, हामी म आफै पनि म्यानेजमेन्टको स्टुडेन्ट हुँ र नेपालको ब्याङ्किङ सेक्टरलाई लाग्दै आएको आरोप भन्दा फरक नपर्ला कि अलिकति प्रोडक्टिभ सेक्टरमा ब्याङ्किङ सेक्टरको कन्ट्रिब्युसन त्यति छैन अथवा मतलब ब्याङ्किङ सेक्टरले इन्डस्ट्रिजहरूलाई त्यति इन्करेज गर्न सकेन, त्यहाँ लेन्डिङ कम छ भन्ने कुराहरू आउँछ र हाम्रो जति पनि रेमिटेन्सको इकोनोमीहरू छ त्यो पनि अनप्रोडक्टिभ सेक्टरमा गइरहेको छ, प्रपर्टिज एन्ड स्टफमा। अब यसमा एज अ ब्याङ्कर अथवा यो ब्याङ्किङ पोलिसी अप्ठ्यारो स्थिति हो अथवा अरू कुराहरूले एफेक्ट गरेको हो अथवा हाउ डु यु सी द्याट?
यसमा मेरो विचार अलिक फरक हुनसक्छ। सर्वप्रथम त म के भन्छु भने ब्याङ्कले त्यही फाइनेन्स गर्छ जहाँ चाहिँ हाम्रो इन्टरप्रेन्योर्स, बिजनेसमेन, इन्डस्ट्रियलिस्टले जहाँ बिजनेस गर्न चाहनुहुन्छ त्यही गर्छौँ। हाम्रो अर्थतन्त्र जहिले पनि एउटा ट्रेडिङ इकोनोमी भएको छ। वी आर नट अ म्यानुफ्याक्चरिङ इकोनोमी, एन्ड आई डोन्ट थिङ्क द्याट्स अल रङ एज वेल। इफ यु थिङ्क अबाउट इट, whatever we should do as per our core strengths of our country. If we cannot make this cup cheaper than our neighbors in the south or the north can, but to say that we must make the cup ourselves, what will happen? An industrialist businessman, someone will make the cup. The same cup we could buy for 5 rupees, let's say if it was imported from India or China. Now the Nepali will have to pay 25 rupees for it. That I don't think is the development of the economy. We need to see what is it we can do much better, not cheaper only, much more efficiently, much more productively, of a higher quality than anybody else can. That could be tourism, that could be the service industry, that could be outsourcing, that could be agriculture. Whatever it is, we need to see our core competencies. Once we do that, we can import everything else, doesn't really matter. Even in agriculture, let's see the products and the crops that we can make and we can export. And then we can rice, dal, oil, we can import. So it's not that banks are not interested in financing the industrial sector or the manufacturing sector. Our entrepreneurs, industrialists and all, they themselves want to do something else. And whatever they want to do is what we finance. The first thing is that. The second, this thing about productive sector, I want to make it clear. My point of view is this. Historically, banks have been giving loans to a very small group of people. And these small groups of people have become very, very rich. Now banks have started giving loans to buy a motorcycle, to buy a car, to buy a small plot of land, to buy flats, to buy houses. And now lakhs and tens of lakhs of Nepalese have certainly their living standard has gone up. I as a Nepali will never ever agree that that is not productive lending. For me, that is productive lending. For me, it is not. I don't think banks, especially not mega bank, Holodeki Hydro Maniko, is not here. We will finance the big corporations, the high net worth individuals, so on and so forth. We will do the mid sector, we will do the bottom as well. We want to make sure that Nepal prospers, not by making the rich poor, but by making the poor rich. We cannot just keep making the rich richer, 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 and the poor where they are. We cannot make the rich poorer and hope that the nation will prosper. It is a hard road. The only road we can travel is how can we make the bottom of the pyramid, lift it up slowly, slowly, higher and higher. And to do that, as you mentioned on remittance as well, I keep hearing this at the political, private sector and all, we must use remittance for productive sector. I will never support that. For the simple reason, look at where the remittance is coming from. It is not coming from people like me or educated people who have gone to Australia, America or Europe. We are not sending remittance back. The remittance is coming from the bottom of the pyramid, the labor which has gone to the Middle East, which has gone to the Far East, who are working in some of the most trying conditions and sending back $200, $300, $500. Why did they go in the first place? They went because they did not have a home to stay. They did not have education for their children. They did not have health care. The money that is coming back, that is what they're doing now. They're putting a tin roof. They're making a nice home. They're sending their children to school. If they get sick, they're having good health care. And now we want to take that money away and do what? Productive sector, which means let's put it in hydro so that people like me and you don't have to have load shedding. Let's make bigger roads so that our big SUVs and cars can go faster on those roads. As a Nepali, as a son of this country, I will never support that. Let them use the money for whatever they want. After their standard of living comes to a certain place, they themselves will start to save. And then we can use that saving for productive sector. जाँदाखेरि पनि केही मद्दत नगर्ने, त्यहाँबाट पैसा पठाएको पैसामा पनि रियाल चुहाएर लोभ गर्ने भने त्यो मबाट छ.
You talked about risk. We've been talking about risk throughout the interview anyways, and risk and bank.
Yes.
And poor to rich.
Yes.
When it's about investing on poor or empowering on poor, risk is there.
Yes.
How much is bank doing on that one? I mean, like, you know, banks apparently seem like they're lenders, personal lenders. I mean, like, I don't know if you would agree with that or not, but personally, I would feel that same way. You need to have like 1,000 rupees of collateral to give $100 of a loan. I don't know if that's how it should work, but then where is the bank taking risk to make the poorer richer?
Okay. First, we need to understand that banks are not venture capitalists. We are not equity funds. We're not angel funds. Banks lend money which is not the banks. It is our depositors. In my bank itself, currently my capital may be 3.24 billion rupees. I have over 35 billion rupees of deposits. सर्वसाधारण नेपालीको पसिना बगाएर बुद्धि चलाएर राखेको पैसा. As the CEO, in one hand, I have to give good returns to my shareholders and promoters. On the other hand, I have to look after this 35 billion rupees. उहाँले विश्वास गरेर राख्नु भएको छ नि यो पैसा त ब्याज आउँछ मेरो साउ आउँछ भनेर. So when I lend money, I am much more cautious and conservative than an equity fund or a venture capitalist ever would be. Having said that, we must realize that we are in Nepal. And in Nepal, what sort of lending is required? That is one of the main reasons me and the team that are in Mega Bank, we came to Mega Bank. We, for one, have been lending from everything from yak cheese to goat farming to tomatoes to fish farming to bananas to everything without collateral. And our experience has been phenomenal. 99% good loans. Only 1%, that also because someone fell sick or someone died, we have bad loans. Otherwise, everybody repays these loans. Because they've taken 8 goats, they want to repay and take 16 goats.
So that was the last year's calculation?
Yes.
Is it increasing?
It is increasing. And now I think with the monetary policy saying that 2% of the deprived sector has to be to direct lending, we feel that we need a little more time. Because while Mega and we have set up saying that we are going to go for direct lending, most of the institutions that I was part of also, and most of the institutions, we were following the Rashtra Bank directive and going through indirect. We were giving to microfinance and microfinance were giving there. Now for us to do everything directly, and 2% is billions of rupees in terms of the amount that is there. Neither do we have the capacity to go directly right now. Neither does the market have capacity to absorb that. And also if we ask those microfinance to return that money to us, they might collapse as well. Therefore, keeping everything in mind, I think we need a little more time. But the future is in rural Nepal. It's the same as always the example. We've been dropped into an island. We look around. We're shoe salesmen, and no one is wearing shoes. So the question is up to us. Do we return and say, hey, there's no market here, no one wears shoes? Or do we say, send as many shoes as possible because no one's wearing shoes? 65 to 70% of the Nepali population is unbanked. We need to get there, get them into the banking net and start making money and making their lives better. And that's what some of us have already started doing. And I believe in the next 2 to 3 years, there's going to be a revolution in that. We talk about ideas and innovation. I just want to take some time to say this. About 12, 14 years back, when we started retail lending in Standard Chartered and started financing these cars and houses, the whole market said, this is not America and India, no middle class, it's not going to work. When we went to the market said, Anil ji, ke kura garnu bhako? लोन लिएर मोटर किन्ने मेरो रिश्तेदार छिमेकी साथीभाइहरुले भन्छ हेर शान देखाउनु पर्छ खल्तीमा पैसा दिएर लोन लिएर मोटर किनेको छ टुडे देयर हैज बीन अ पैराडाइम शिफ्ट everybody takes loans to buy vehicles houses apartments property whatever it is when we go to micro today or to the SME everyone says this is not for banks to do this is not Bangladesh or Kenya it will not work we are confident that it will work we won't need another 12 to 14 years another 3 to 5 years you will see all banks will be fully invested into the rural sector, into the bottom of the pyramid, and that's when, as I said before, the poor will start to get richer.
Sure. I mean, there's so many things that I want to discuss in this interview, but I think we're towards the end of the show, and you've been a part of the Idea Studio. We're fortunate to have you as a part of Idea Studio, as a business guru and a patron as well. So, you Idea Studio ma, there is a young, aspiring entrepreneurs like भेट्ने मौका पाइसयो उहाँहरुको आइडियाजहरु सुन्ने मौका पाइसयो how does it feel and the potential do you see that where is it going
I want to start again by my own is I'm one of the people who chooses to be in Nepal I'm not here because I didn't get a visa or a green card or I feel I cannot get anywhere else but having chosen to be in Nepal at times I do feel a chill that did I make the right choice and when I get to meet entrepreneurs like I did in the platform provided by Idea Studio, I have no doubt that I made the right choice. I don't know what all happened in the yesterdays of my country, but when I look at them, I look at their energy, their confidence, their exposure, their education, and then that ability to understand the environment and then work within that to make a life for themselves and a better life for those around them. I know that our tomorrows are going to be very bright. I think one of the main things of platforms like Idea Studio and a lot of people ask Idea Studio le ke ta economic transformation gardincha hamro आर्थिक रूपान्तरण हुन्छ मैले भन्छु Idea Studio भनेको एउटा सलाई हो के त्यो सलाईले अब के गर्छ त केही पनि गरेन भने त्यो सलाई जलेर जान्छ फेरि फ्याट्ट हुन्छ फेरि अन्धकारमा हुन्छ तर त्यो सलाईले मोमबत्तीहरु बाल्न लायौं लान्टिल बाल्न लायौं आगो बाल्न लायौं भनेदेखि भात पनि पाक्छ उज्यालो पनि हुन्छ काम पनि गर्न सक्छ पढ्नु पनि सकिन्छ that's what the Idea Studio is it's that spark that can bring about a change that really can be nationwide. Prant 1 देखि Prant 7 सम्म सबै ठाउँमा सबै I see so many people emulating Idea Studio and I love it because that's what it should be. Every business management college, university should be trying to do this and say let's have an entrepreneurship cell. Let's have people talking about entrepreneurs because I am not one of the courageous people. I am a job seeker. मैले पनि MBA गरे रेजुमे हातमा बोकेर ठाउँ ठाउँ गएर मलाई जागिर दिनुस् भनेर जागिर दिनुस् सबैजनाले भने जागिर दिने कसले त who are the job creators and that's what Idea Studio creates is the job creators whether they employ 3 people 300 people 3000 people they are job creators and by looking at them the people who are studying or wondering what to do will say hey your resume side ma rakh ma pani gaera afai kehi kaam garchu ni I want to be an entrepreneur too I can do this if they can do it I can do it too and they become job creators as well they salaile aru mombatti bale jastai that's what the Idea Studio does I think
I think that's a wonderful note to end our show. Thank you so much for joining us in the show that we call Idea Talk. यो पनि सोचदेखि उद्योगलाई नै ऊर्जा प्रदान गर्न राखेको show. And thank you so much for that energetic statements that you made in the debut. Thank you, really honored.
Thank you very much. It was wonderful to be here.